When I was a kid, my father always told me, son, you put your pants on one leg at a time, just like any other man. And you have the right to speak in this country. And when I have something that I feel very strongly about, I will speak out. I'm Gary Gadwa, and I am a retired conservation officer with Idaho Department of Fish and Game. I've been the commander of Sawtooth Search and Rescue, which is a big job because of the National Recreation Area. The Sawtooth National Recreation Area is a large tract of ground here in central Idaho. If I live or die, I want to live or die in the Sawtooth National Recreation Area.
Gary Gadwa was sued for defamation after he voiced concerns about something he's dedicated his life to as a public servant, and that's Idaho's Sawtooth National Recreation Area. Getting sued for sharing your views on a matter of public concern is something the First Amendment simply never tolerates. Michael Boren, who owns a large ranch in the Sawtooth Valley, applied for a permit from Custer County in Idaho, seeking to designate part of his ranch as an airstrip. A lot of residents got wind of that permit application and they didn't like how it sounded, so they opposed it. The county had 2 public hearings, showing how hotly contested of a public issue this really was. Now, of course, you had some people supporting Mr. Boren's application for a designated airstrip, but you also had a lot of other people opposing it. All in all, 600 plus residents of the Sawtooth Valley and neighboring areas exercised their First Amendment rights, chiming in about the permit, the airstrip, and also how both might affect the Sawtooth National Recreation Area and other nearby property owners.
I discussed it at length with my wife, and I said, you know, I really am not in favor of another airstrip right near where the Forest Service had condemned one. So we together wrote a comment letter. I at no time spoke against Mr. Boren. I did state that as a 38-year veteran of search and rescue missions in the valley, I found no need for an additional airstrip, and I used those in my comments.
Gary chimed in, like all Americans have the right to do. He attended a public hearing and simply stated his opinion that Mr. Boren's airstrip wasn't necessary because there were 2 other airstrips nearby. And he shared his belief that first responders wouldn't use that airstrip. And Gary also expressed his belief that the airstrip, if designated, might harm the Sawtooth Valley and the National Recreation Area, which so many visitors use and which the local community depends on.
Michael Boren wanted me to apologize. He wanted me to bring in the other people to apologize.
Ultimately, the county awarded Mr. Boren the permit he wanted. But still, he chose to sue Gary and over 20 other residents of the area simply based on the comments they made to the county government and elsewhere, criticizing the permit proceedings and opposing the airstrip. All Gary did is exercise those core First Amendment rights that we all have, the right to petition your government and the right to speak out on matters of public concern. Gary went to his local government and the public at large, giving his opinions for why the county should deny Mr. Boren's permit. The First Amendment squarely protects that. This lawsuit threatens not only Gary's exercise of those core First Amendment rights, but it threatens others who want to exercise those First Amendment rights in the future.
I can tell you that I've had many sleepless nights. I exist on a small retirement and Social Security, and I'm 76 years old this year, and I'm still working because I want to live here and I want to stay here.
Fire is currently representing Gary before the Idaho Supreme Court. Now, Gary didn't have a lawyer in the trial court, but now he has Fire in his corner. Not only is Fire there to represent Gary and protect his rights to free expression and his right to petition the government, but it's there to protect the right of every Idaho citizen to speak out on matters of public concern.
I'm not defaming anyone just because I have a different opinion than someone else.